John, you have what a lot of people would consider the greatest job in the world because you get paid to watch movies. You're a Catholic movie critic. How do you decide what to cover and critique and what to leave aside?
Well, our primary focus is on wide release films because of the impact of those. They're so far reaching. And so we have basically the remit to review all wide release films in the United States. We also cover smaller films, limited release, if there's a significant religious aspect, or if something is sort of going to be coming back around at award time, then we try to focus on that as well.
Why is it important to have a Catholic movie review? I mean, what is something that you're offering in the work that you do that, you know, I'm not going to get in the newspaper if I pick it up every week?
Well, absolutely. Our raison d'etre is really to bring spiritual and moral values to bear on the film and on the TV shows or the DVDs, basically to engage with the mass media from a Judeo-Christian perspective, partly as a guide to families, so that parents can have a strong indication of what children will see if they go to the movie. Also for adults making those kind of choices for themselves. Advising people on what the content of the film is, how does it conform with our values, how does it depart from the teaching of the church, that kind of thing.
We live in a time now where a movie like 50 Shades of Grey comes out, and there's all this controversy about the content of it, you know, sexually explicit content. And I know people, like friends of mine and other, you know, practicing Catholics, they say, there's no way I'm going to watch that. Why would you even pay any attention to that? You know, you decided to write a review about that. There's no movie that's off the table, so to speak.
Absolutely not. Now, sometimes we get feedback of people saying, why are you giving attention to this film when it's, you know, clearly not in keeping with what our faith dictates? But if we were to ignore 50 Shades of Grey, we would leave people without guidance about what exactly is in the film. I sometimes joke, we see the movie so you don't have to, you know. So it's important for us to see the film, to evaluate it honestly, not to go by reputation or what other people have written about it, but to actually engage with the film itself and to take it seriously and to, if necessary, warn people that it is immoral. But at the same time, not to dismiss it or base what we say about it on hearsay. So in terms of some of these movies, there's a drive to, you know, what taboo can we break in order to excite people and draw attention to our product. And so there's always that dynamic, and that's been true since the 1960s, really. I'm not sure how many taboos are left, but it's out there.
There'll always be some.
That's right.
So if people want to read your reviews, how can they access those?
Well, CatholicNews.com, they're available on the internet, and also, of course, through our client publications, Catholic publications both across the United States and throughout the English-speaking world. So that if any of our client publications, if they choose to to run the movie reviews, the reviews are there.
All right, thank you. And one final question: a movie that's recently come out that you highly recommend to our Catholic audience?
I wish I could immediately think of a movie to recommend. I would go back to a movie that came out a few years ago called Of Gods and Men. Which is a magnificent film, and it's very hard to make a good religious movie, and we see a lot of evidence of that because there are a lot of well-intentioned but not particularly well-done movies in that religious category. So Of Gods and Men is a film that meets that, and I like to say it's not only the best religious film I've seen since I've been reviewing, it's the best film I've seen since I've been reviewing.